Asalamualaikum all, welcome back to my channel. I pray that you are all in the best of health and iman. If you are new, welcome. My name is Nafisa. I am a Muslimah lifestyle coach and I make Islam and lifestyle videos. So if you're interested in that type of content, then please don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and join our family. So inshallah today guys, I'm going to be talking about ghusl and how to perform it. A lot of you have emailed me asking me to do this, but I was reluctant to do it, and I would always refer you guys back to a particular video that I saw on YouTube that explains it very well in an animated form, and so I thought that was sufficient but clearly not, because you guys are still emailing me asking me about it. So that is why I'm creating this video today, inshallah. And this is going to be a sort of step-by-step talk through of how to perform ghusl. So I hope you guys enjoy this video and I hope you do find it useful. And so without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Alright, so what is ghusl? Ghusl is a type of bath that we take that brings us back into purity after we have lost purity for a little or a short amount of time. Now, those who may not understand might be thinking, what do you mean? In Islam, there are two forms of impurity. There is minor impurity and there are major impurity. And so there are certain acts that cause you to fall into the state of major impurity, and so they require you to perform this particular bath known as ghusl in order to come back into the stage of purity. So I hope that is clear, inshallah. Now, before I begin to explain how to perform ghusl, I just thought it would be useful to share with you all the things that can remove you from the state of purity. So the first one, of course, is sexual intercourse. Anytime you perform an act of sexual intercourse whereby bodily fluids are exchanged, then yes, you are required to perform ghusl. And I had to explain it in this particular way because I've heard of people who commit zina and think that they don't need to perform ghusl, because whenever ghusl is explained, it's always explained in the form that it's, you know, something you need to do after being intimate with your husband or after being intimate with your wives. Now, of course, I think Islamic leaders do that because that is really and truly in Islam the only time that you should be having sexual relations is with your husband or with your wife. So when they explain it, they make that specific. However, I think that sadly a lot of Muslims who are engaged in those type of actions outside of marriage then feel as though ghusl is not something that they have to perform. If you are engaging in any kind of sexual interaction that involves bodily fluids being exchanged, then you are required to perform ghusl, okay? Let's just make that clear. Whether it is with a boyfriend or a girlfriend, despite the fact that it is haram, it's something that you must perform, and you cannot pray salah unless you have performed ghusl. And of course, that is something that Muslims shouldn't be engaged in anyways, but nonetheless, ghusl is still a requirement upon you, even though you are committing a major sin. The second condition whereby you are required to perform ghusl is in the condition whereby you experience sexual discharge, okay? So if you experience any type of discharge that has come as a result of you being sexually excited, then you are required to perform ghusl before you can then pray, okay? Sisters do experience discharge, but it's not always as a result of sexual excitement, okay? That type of discharge that you experience normally, sisters, just as a way of your body cleansing itself, that does not require you to perform ghusl. But if you're ever in doubt whether you're not sure maybe this discharge is as a result of sexual excitement or not, then just perform ghusl anyways. And there is a sunnah whereby you perform ghusl every Friday before you go to the masjid, so you know you can perform it as a means of sunnah. But where it is a requirement is where that fluid has come out of your body as a result of you being sexually excited. The third condition whereby you are required to perform ghusl, of course for us sisters, is at the end of your menstruation. So when your menstruation has finished, you are required to perform ghusl before you can start to perform salah, and before you and your spouse can re-engage in sexual acts again, okay? I am having to say this, sisters, you cannot re-engage in performing sexual acts with your husbands if you have not yet performed ghusl. So let's take for example, say for example, as a woman or as a sister in Islam, you have finished your menstrual cycle and you want to engage in this act with your husband, but you haven't performed your ghusl yet. Guess what? You will have to go and perform your ghusl, engage in that act with your husband, and go and perform ghusl again. I know, it's like, what? Why can't I just... No, it doesn't work like that. Make sure that you perform your ghusl at the end of your menstrual cycle, and then you can engage in you know, intimate relations with your husbands again. I hope that is clear, sisters. And the fourth condition whereby you need to perform ghusl is after postpartum bleeding. So for us sisters, after we have a baby, we go through a period of time whereby, you know, we do experience the bleeding. We have to wait for all that bleeding to stop, and then when it is finished, we perform ghusl the same way as we would after our menstruation has completed. So I hope that is clear, sisters. Any questions, leave it in the comment section down below for me. Okay, having covered that, now let's get into how to actually perform ghusl. Disclaimer, I know that there are a lot of different opinions with regards to performing ghusl, what is mustahab and what is not mustahab and all of that. But I'm just going to share with you guys what I know and what I follow, and I will always encourage you guys to make sure that you do more research and ask those who are in higher level, have a higher level of knowledge with regards to the deen about these type of issues. But again, what I'm sharing is what I follow and what I know to be true. So the first step to performing ghusl is to make sure that you have the intention in your heart that you are about to perform ghusl and you're about to purify yourself. You don't have to say it out loud, but you do have to have that intention, and you do have to consciously have that intention in mind, okay? So as far as performing ghusl goes, there are certain acts that are obligatory, and then there are certain acts that are liked, but not necessarily obligatory, but they are highly liked. And we call that mustahab. So those that are obligatory and those that are liked. For me personally, I join the two together and I do both of them together because for me that is what is best. So the obligatory part of ghusl is to make sure that you wash your entire body. Make sure that water touches the entire body parts, including the roots of your hair, including your armpits, your knees, all those hard to reach areas. Make sure that water touches all of those parts, and you are to wash all of those parts at least once. Let me repeat that. The obligatory part of ghusl is to ensure that you wash all parts of your body, making sure the water is touching all of your body parts at least once. And if water touches all of those body parts and you wash all of those body parts at least once, then that is what is required as a must, okay? Now here is the routine that is mustahab, which means it is highly liked and highly encouraged. So you're going to begin by saying Bismillah. Then you're going to wash your hands 3 times. Then you're going to wash your private parts. So you've washed your hands 3 times, you've washed your private parts, and then you are going to make a complete wudu. I hope everyone is clear on how to make a complete wudu. You're going to make a complete wudu. You have your intention, you say Bismillah, you wash your hands 3 times, you wash your private parts. Then you make a complete wudu. You scoop some water and pour it over your entire body 3 times. And here is where there is a difference of opinion. Some people believe that you need to pour water on your right, on your left, then the middle part of your body. And some people just say just pour water over your head 3 times. Personally, I just pour water over my entire head, making sure it's covering my whole body 3 times, okay? So pour water over your head 3 times. And when you're doing this, make sure you are rubbing your roots so that water touches your roots. And this is why, guys, I tend to do my monthly hair care routine after the end of my menstrual cycle, because that means if I have braids in my hair, I have to take out the braids in my hair. Ensuring that water reaches every part of your body, that is really the key, okay? If you want to do more research with regards to whether you're pouring water over your left, your right, your middle, it's up to you. You can look further into that. But as far as I know, that is all it takes to perform ghusl. So I hope this makes everything clear. If it's not clear, guys, and you have any more like intimate questions you want to ask me, you can drop me an email or you can leave your questions in the comment section down below. You do not need to wash your feet again or do anything extra. After having performed this, you can go and pray salah right away. You don't have to perform wudu before praying your salah. You can just go ahead and pray salah, or you can go back in, get dressed, do whatever, come back, make wudu and pray salah if it's time to pray salah. But that is basically it. And for as long as you have your ghusl with you and you haven't done anything that would normally break your wudu, then that ghusl serves as wudu. So let's say, for example, you performed ghusl half an hour ago, you haven't been to the toilet, you haven't done anything that would normally break a wudu, and now it's time to pray 30 minutes later, you can still go ahead and pray without performing wudu. But if you have done, in between the time of performing ghusl and salah time, if you've done anything that would normally break wudu, then yes, you would have to then go and make wudu and come back to pray. So that is how you perform ghusl as far as I know, alhamdulillah. And so I hope that it makes things a little bit more clearer. If you have any further questions or any comments you would like to leave, please make sure you leave it in the comment section down below, and please make sure you share this video with other sisters that they may also benefit from having a clear understanding of how to perform ghusl. And yes, it also applies to men, but again, like I said, because of postpartum bleeding and menstruation, it's definitely a topic that us women are more so concerned about. So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget, if you would like to be coached by me, you can find all the details on my website, which I will leave in the description box down below, so check in there. Jazakallah khair, guys, for watching, and inshallah I will see you all in my next video. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.